So I have my beam on the garage now, which is great for skip, but terrible for local, unless the local is on a flat side beam. So I decided to come up with something to use as a vertical. And I still had this homemade one that I had on my house, that I replaced it with the Tram 1498, the 18-foot base station antenna. So I had this kicking around and I decided to give it a shot. I made up some new ground radials. Before I had this with 2 radials, now it's going to have 4. And I clamped it to a pipe and gave it a piece of coax. Wrapped some vinyl tape around there and electrical tape around here and some zip ties, because I'm going to have a string going to the building. It's going to connect to the pole here, and then the coax will be attached to that string. But it's going to bend a little bit there, so I figured just give it a little extra protection. What can it hurt, right? And that way too, the zip ties don't crush the coax, because you do not want to crush the coax. I have the ground planes all secured to the pipe. My coax is secured with some masking tape just so that I can carry this out behind my garage and set this thing up and give it a try, see what it does. Like I said, I need something for local. If I'm pointing to the north and one of my locals from the south comes on, I can't hear him at all with that beam. So I'm hoping that this will change that. Got it all set up. The coax is running over to the building. I gotta add some more tape to the line there. But I have it strung off to the pole so the weight of the coax is supported. I get a little bit of extra over here so that it doesn't pull on the coax. I got my ground radials all set up. The extra string on that side, because of the coax string pulling it towards the building, I need a little extra support pulling it back towards the backyard. I probably could remove all that excess tape on there, but it's not bothering me. My ground planes are all set up. They're all staked down into the ground, set at my 45-degree angles. Let's see how it does. I have my little temporary pole that's pounded into the ground, and this pole's set into it. And we have it up over here going into the building. My nest up there. So I'm on channel 40. And we're going to check the SWR. I already keyed it up once before turning the camera on. Well, watch this. Watch the SWR meter right there on the bottom. 1.1. Nice. Great match on that antenna. Alright, now let's put it back to 38. Or actually, I'm going to go down to the Sidebanders channel, because the Witch Doctor likes to hang out down there. So let's see if we can get the Witch Doctor on channel 370. Hopefully he's still in there. I don't hear the #1 in there anymore. The #1 equalizer in Trinidad. Alright, let's give it a try and see what happens.
Okay, much appreciated there. 7-1. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I wish you out the WWS 21 on the side.
CQDX 151, South Carolina, on this homemade ground plane 151, standing by.
Okay, I got 2 stations inside there. I got 151 South Carolina and 22-9 Virginia. So let me go with 151. Good morning, 151. You're 5x5 into my receive on that, coming out of that homemade ground plane there. Over.
Copy that, Witch Doctor. This thing is only 2 feet off the ground. 2 feet off the ground, and I'm making it 2,000 miles to my favorite Trinidad station. Good morning to you there, Witch Doctor.
Thank you very much. Glad to be of some help to you there. Give it a radio check there on that homemade ground plane 151 South Carolina. Have a good day. So I'll swing it up there to Virginia 20.
That's all right. Gives me time to make a video.
Yeah, what's this one on?
The antenna that I'm talking to you on right now.
Which one is that?
The homemade ground plane. The PVC pipe with the 12-gauge wire inside of it and the 4 12-gauge ground radials.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, is it working better?
It's working fantastic. I just got some skip down to Trinidad. I talked to that witch doctor again on this antenna.
No shit.
Yeah, he gave me a pretty good report, too. He told me it was making a good job and sounding good.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, how far is that? 500 miles?
2,000 miles.
Is it? Where the hell's Trinidad? I forgot. 2,000?
Yeah, as he puts it, in the West Indies.
Is that far away, really?
Yeah, Google shows it as being just over 2,000 miles away.
Yeah, make sure you mention, the technical stuff in that one. Really? I thought that was like Cuba or something. It ain't.
Now it's further away than Cuba by quite a bit.
Holy crap. And how far off the ground is that?
The bottom of the ground radials are only about 2 feet off the ground.
Where's the bottom of the antenna at?
The feed point where the coax connects to the antenna is about 9 feet in the air.
Wow, where's the top at?
17 feet. 17 feet off the ground to the very top of the antenna.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
So I had to run uptown today to do a couple of errands, and while I was out, I figured I'd put a camera in front of this radio with the radio on the ground plane antenna, the homemade ground plane, and my radio in the house that's on my tram that is the base of the antenna is about 30 feet in the air. Wait till you see the results of this. The homemade seems to actually hear a car antenna better than the tram does. From testing that I've done, the tram does better base to base, but from mobile to base, the homemade seems to be doing it. I can't wait to see how it's going to be once I get it higher in the air. I do have a plan to raise it up. Let me show you that footage first, and then we'll talk some more at the end. Alright, I'm going to show you a couple of clips from... First, I'll show you what my car radio sounded like on the homemade antenna from 10 miles away. In a straight line, I was 10 miles away. And then I'll show you the exact same footage that was on the tram antenna in the house. Alright, let's get to that.
CQ, 151 in the mobile. Standing by. Come on now, you guys are making me think this radio ain't working. 151, standing by. CQ, 151 in the mobile. Standing by. Come on now, you guys are making me think this radio ain't working. 151, standing by.
So I have a plan to lift that antenna even higher. Right now, as you saw, the ground radials, the bottom of them are only about 2 feet off the ground. It's working fantastic the way it is. For skip, for local, it's a great antenna. But when I raise that up higher, I think it's going to get even better. Once it's up higher, I'll probably do a range test with it, because I still need to range test the President George that I put in the car. So I'm going to do a range test, and I'll probably do it the same way I did this with cameras in front of both radios. So we'll get a test of, we'll be able to compare this homemade to the tram antenna, and also be doing a range test on the President George at the same time. I guess that's it for now until I get that up higher in the air. I thank you for watching. Please remember the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you next time.